Welcome, friends, or welcome if you're new. This week I have a lot more fun recipes for you. All the dinners were delicious, and for dessert, an Easter cake, since Easter is just around the corner. I'm going to show you here first what we have coming up, and then we'll get cooking. Sit back and enjoy. Tonight for dinner I'm doing a chicken bacon ranch stromboli, and the recipe called for some cooked chicken, so I threw some in the crock pot on low for 3 hours with some seasoning. Also called for cooked bacon, so I got out the griddle. Next thing I did was get some parchment paper and put that on my baking sheet, and then I got out the can of pizza dough. I just did the refrigerated kind, and then you spread this out on the counter. I used a cutting board just so I could keep it about that size. Alright, now I'm going to spread out my softened cream cheese. This is a chive and onion. I just used the whole tub. I'm not sure how much was in it. The recipe called for 4 ounces. Now we're going to sprinkle with some Colby-jack, or you can use cheddar, whatever cheese you like. I've cut up my chicken, and I'm going to go ahead and get that on top of the cheese. Next, when I put on the bacon, this is about 6 slices, cooked and crumbled. I just cut mine up with a knife. Alright, we're going to put some ranch dressing on here. You can put as much or as little as you would like. And then we're going to turn this and get this rolled up. And now I'm putting it on my baking sheet, and I'm going to put some melted butter on there first, and then we're going to sprinkle it with garlic salt, and some grated Parmesan. Now this goes into a 375-degree oven for 20 minutes. Oh, and I did cut some slits in the top. This is how it turned out. Absolutely delicious. We let it rest on the counter for about 5 minutes, and then Big Daddy cut into it and served it up. And we had some pizza sauce on the side to dip it into. I definitely would make this again, and I've just found 18 Stromboli recipes. One of them's chocolate raspberry, which kind of might be a good dessert. So we may see that in a future video. I hope you give it a try. Here's the ingredients, and I'll link the recipe below. I found this recipe for a French meat pie. Apparently it is really called a tortilla pie, and it's from Quebec, Canada, so who knew? Anyway, the principle here is to take your meat, your hamburger, and your sausage, and you cook it in water with some onions until it's cooked through. Now, I didn't know all this until I looked it up. I have Google, like everyone else. But anyway, you're supposed to take a couple potatoes and you're supposed to boil them while the meat's cooking. Me, I thought microwave 3 minutes, less dishes, less work, and that worked fine. Then I just cut up my potatoes, and my meat was done. Put the potatoes in there, and then you just mash it all up. Spices you add are salt, pepper, ground cloves, and allspice. I threw in Kinder's all-purpose seasoning. If you make this French pie and you use the traditional spices, do let me know how that turns out. I just had that on the counter, and I was in a real big hurry on this evening. I started dinner late, so I took a lot of shortcuts. I do have the original recipe in the comment box below, so you can follow it to a T and make it properly. But I'm just showing you how this turned out. I did not roll out my flour on my pie crust. I just put it in here, and then I put the top one on, and then I did the slits as it stated, and of course I went around the edges to make sure it was all sealed up. Now this goes in a 450-degree oven for 20 minutes. I was going to make an egg wash, do the top so it came out nice golden brown, but I had some olive oil spray right handy, so I put that on there and it came out beautifully. Now, looking at the ingredients, I was like, this pie is going to be so dry. And it was. And of course, when I was looking up French pie, a lot of people said that it was dry and that their Canadian friends suggested having gravy with it. So I made up some mashed potatoes because there wasn't that many potatoes in here, and I did green beans, and I did a nice brown gravy, and this really made the dish. It was absolutely delicious. I'll put the original ingredients at the end here, and again the link in the comment box below. We ate on this for 2 days. This has been put on my easy list. This was a super quick dinner which took little effort but was absolutely delicious. I actually just used 2 potatoes here, one for each sheet pan, and I just diced them up into smallish pieces. I mean, not tiny cubes, but I wanted everything to cook at the same amount of time. So, and the other things I put on here was broccoli and then some smoked sausage. We'll get all this cut up and onto the sheet pans. Okay, now we're going to season these up. First of all, I'm just putting a little olive oil on here, and then we're going to use all-purpose steak seasoning. I used Uncle Chris's, and some garlic powder and some smoked paprika. Now, these go into the oven at 350 degrees, and you're just going to cook them till everything's cooked through to your liking. Like I said, super simple, absolutely delicious. I'm just going to keep a sausage in the freezer. I've always got some sort of vegetable. Love a sheet pan meal. And I'm not sure where I got this one. It doesn't say in my recipe book, so it's probably on Facebook or something. But you can switch up to any vegetables you like. I did put cheese on it when it came out, and here's pictures of our finished plates. Here are your ingredients, and I'll type this out below. Last week on March 20th, Menu Monday, I did some meatballs with a barbecue and cranberry sauce, and I said I thought I preferred mine with a marinara. So I saved some of the meatballs, put them in the freezer, and Big Daddy and I had been gone to a birthday party all day. I came home, I put the meatballs in the pan with the marinara sauce and heated it through, and then toasted some sub rolls. My conclusion is I like both recipes. I think it depends on what you want. This is a more savory flavor, whereas last week with the cranberry barbecue, it was almost sweet. So do give both a try. At the end of this clip, I've put all the ingredients for these meatballs, and also in the comment box below, I've typed it out along with the directions on how to make the meatballs in case you missed last week's video. So again, love this as well. This is one great go-to. Big Daddy cooking tonight. Hey, Big Daddy.
What's up?
You sent me a picture, and it looks so good. I had to come out here and show everybody that I don't cook 7 days a week. Sometimes you take
She only cooks 360 days a year. I think there's only 5.
Y'all heard that, right?
So might there's probably be plenty.
Yeah, I'd say so. Looking good.
I want it sizzling.
I'll show y'all a picture of our finished plates. Alright, Big Daddy came in. I've got the cheese, the salsa, the sour cream. He has cooked the wraps on the grill.
I'm using that pink.
Can I see the meat and the veg? There we go, guys. And he's dishing us up.
It just smells. You always put cheese on first so it melts because the other stuff is cold. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And they say a little dollop will do you. Right there.
And we got a dollop, or
What's a dollop? It's a dollop of mustard.
and a dollop of salsa. I don't even think I can get that in a taco shell. I might have to eat it as a salad.
Oh, like that.
Okay.
I'll have to get you another napkin, another roll of napkins. How about that?
Goes good with the Corona.
Yeah.
This cake was a lot of fun to make, and I wanted to get it out there because Easter is just around the corner. The first thing you do is just make a cake, any flavor, any kind you like, and I decided to make a 2-tiered round cake, so I used 2 8-inch pans. So I used more frosting than it called for, so just an FYI if you want to do that. If you're making a sheet pancake, of course, it won't take so much. You add in the ingredients that the box cake mix calls for, and get that in the oven per directions on the box. When your pans come out of the oven, let them cool completely before you start decorating. Now, I just cut the tops off of mine so that they're level, and I'm going to get the first one turned over and iced. Okay, now just cutting the top one, we'll get that turned over and on top, and then we'll ice the rest of it and make sure we get some around the sides to hold the peeps. Now we're just going to put the peeps all around the edge. I realized after I'd put a few on that I was putting them too close together and I wouldn't have enough to go all the way around. So I started spreading them out a little bit further, and they worked out just fine. And this is where I ran into a bit of a problem. It said to get gel food coloring. Well, I had liquid, so I picked some gel up when I went to the store. And now I'm going to color my coconut grass. Only it didn't work. It just went into a little ball and wouldn't go any further. So I decided to go to the bedroom and get where I keep my baking things, and get my other food coloring. Well, it had leaked inside the container, so I'll show you that coming up, and I got green food coloring all over me. You see it's leaked out here. It's all over my left hand. It's fixing to be all over my right. Fortunately, the doors and windows were open, so I hollered for Big Daddy to come help me and get me an apron so I didn't get it all over my shirt and everything. And then I continued on. Fortunately, by the time I got done doing all the dishes, the food coloring had washed off my hands, and of course it cleans up really good on the counters. So now I've got my liquid food coloring that I had anyway. I just sprinkled it in here and then shook the coconut, and it was fine. The only thing I found a little bit later was the glob of gel in there, so I just picked that out. And then what we're going to do is just put the grass on top of the cake. And I ended up throwing away that whole tub of food coloring. And from now on, it will be kept in an upright position. Live and learn. And I hope you learn by my mistake and don't use gel. Here goes the lump. Now we carry on. Okay, after washing my hands for about the 6th time, it's time to put on the eggs. This calls for the Cadbury's mini eggs that come out at Easter time, which I absolutely love, or you can use the jelly bean eggs, whichever you prefer. I actually had a hard time finding these, and I got them, and then one night Big Daddy and I ate them. So he went on the hunt earlier in this day and managed to find 2 bags. And what I'm doing here is I'm just separating, so I have one of each color in each of my little nests. And then I'll show you pictures of my finished cake, which was absolutely delicious. And I just thought this would be fun to share at Easter with your family or friends. Here are your ingredients if you want to take a screenshot, and I have the original recipe linked in the comment box below. If you made it to the end of my video, be sure to leave a grill emoji in the comments. 'Tis the season for the grill, finally. Wishing everybody a wonderful week, and I'll see y'all next Monday for another Menu Monday. Take care, guys.